Well, that's it for me. I'm out of here. The fire's gonna get to the top of the ridge today, and I'm not gonna stick around to see it. So I'm heading over toward Quincy. Just gonna go over to Fernley and be with Karen and family. So hopefully our house will make it. But if it doesn't, well, it's God's will, I guess. So hoping for the best, praying for the best. Let's see what happens. I sprayed retardant all along the road here, probably because the fire's on the other side of the river, or the creek, and so they were pre-treating this for spots, probably. So I just passed the day shift going in. Here's some more of them. Here's the Indian Falls. Oh my gosh, that house down there is probably toast. Oh man, probably the shoe fly bridge is gone. That's too bad. That was a historical bridge. Day shift going in. Some more day shift, that is. Institute. Jeez. Oh, this side over there is burned out. Down to the Greenville Y. Okay, I'm over here in Fernley. I don't know if this is going to come out with all this wind, but you can see the smoke from the Dixie fire right over there. See it from Fernley, Nevada. The fire is just on the hill above our house now, and I thought I'd grab my GoPro and get some video of the finale here, as much as I hope it comes out better than I think it's going to. We'll see. Well, let's see, a little update. It's the 6th, August 6th, and this is a infrared picture from this morning, actually, around 9 o'clock. Our house is right there, and what they did apparently is they burned out along the highway all the way down to Crescent Mills. Here's Crescent Mills down here, and they which is going to keep the fire up there and keep the intensity down. That's the best case scenario for us. The spotty look of this is from heat sources, so there's some areas in there that didn't burn. There's some areas that have burned and they're already out, so they wouldn't show any heat sources. So it's not looking too bad right there for heat sources on this hillside. It doesn't look so bad. So I think our house is okay right now, and it's 10 o'clock, and things keep going like they are today. I think we're going to be looking good. Well, here we are out in the chicken pen. It's August 7th, We're still quarantined from our house. Quarantined. I'm using. Oh, Karen's feeding the chickens. We're not quarantined. We're evacuated to Fernley, Nevada, and everything's burned down pretty good around our house. House and neighborhood are safe. Crescent Mills is good. Karen's doing good. And she's looking beautiful today. Anyway, we are just killing time till they let us back in. At least we have a house to go back to, quite unlike most of my friends and church family. It's not, it's so sad I almost can't talk about it. So, Karen wanted me to mention the chicken aprons. These chickens have a way of pecking on each other, and so she found out that there's these aprons that you can make for them. They keep the other chickens from being able to peck on them. And so that's why some of these chickens have clothes on. Very unusual to see chickens with clothes on. Well, just got a phone call from Jeff Grief, who has property next to Karen's up on the hill there where her property is, and Phil Noya drove up there and looked around, said that that hillside looks pretty bad. So we're thinking the worst about the cabin and Karen's property up there. So it's not a good thing. So bad news. We were kind of hoping for the best on that one. So Jeff LaMattina at the bottom of the hill lost his place, burned up. So this is more sad news. It just continues with this thing. Well, let's see, it's August 9th. This is getting close to a month since this whole ordeal started, but I didn't post any, I didn't make any video yesterday. Yesterday the fire is up near, it's up at Red Rock, or not Red Rock, it's up at Lone Rock. It made it to Lone Rock. They evacuated Antelope Lake and top of Janesville Grade, and it's an evacuation warning for Janesville, and a lot of my friends are worried about the Janesville area, and rightfully so. This fire has exhibited some very incredible fire behavior, so I'm hoping that the winds aren't too strong today. Don't push it too hard. It's in some fairly light fuels right now, and so it could be that they might be able to make some headway with it, but I don't know. I'm out here dumping stuff in the compost thing at Krista's. I don't know what's what they're doing as far as their, there seem to be doing a lot of indirect, and the indirect isn't working. I don't know. I know that they can't do direct if it's really hot. If it's burning real hot, they can't do that direct attack, but the indirect attack is definitely not stopping it. They've put dozer lines everywhere, indirect and contingency lines, and it's just not holding it. So I think going direct is the only way they're gonna get that thing cut off from the fuel that it's got available. So I really hope it doesn't get over to the escarpment and burn that country. And if it does have a high potential of running down into Janesville, and that would be another disaster. So anyway, we'll have to see what happens today. I'm hoping for the best, but kind of prepared for the worst. Yeah, it's August 10th, 10:29 a.m. All this red is new expansion of the fire. Here's Antelope Lake over here. And here's Taylor Lake right there. So we live right down here. This is an alarming expansion of the fire. It's all up in this area that's burning toward Wilcox Valley, Lucky S Mine, up in that area, in that whole hillside, up behind Teresa and Danny's place. That really sucks. It's not good. Well, it's August 12th, and we're still in mandatory evacuation over there. So they got power back on last night though, so that's a good thing, because now our garden will get watered, even though it might be fried by now. We don't know, but we'll hope for the best. So still a lot of smoke around here, and this is all smoke from our fire, and it's pretty breezy right here, but
our fire that's
hopefully not on the fire.
2.5 hours away.
Yeah, 500,000 acres. That's incredible. So anyway, I'm hoping we're going to hear today that we can go home, but I don't know. I don't know why we wouldn't, because we got power now. We actually have some amenities, but we got to wait until they tell us we can. So, well, we're almost back to Greenville, or to Crescent Mills. We're here sitting here at the Dawn Institute. It's all burned out. There's road work going on here or something. They've got flag people, but you can see it's not a pretty sight here. It's just pretty well burned up. It's not beautiful and green like it used to be. So Karen's behind me. She's right back there. So we'll be home as soon as they let us through the roadblock. We should be home quickly, because we're only about, I'm saying, 6 miles away from home. So we got to go through a check station, so we got to show our ID, which I appreciate. So they're making sure that only residents are allowed in. That's good. It is the 16th of August, a little over a month after this fire started. Yep, that's the sun. Well, fire ran through Janesville last night, and probably did some major damage. Well, it's been a few days since I've done an update. The fire continues to burn around Indian Valley. We're kind of surrounded by black now, which is actually a good thing, because we're safe here. Unfortunately, the fire has progressed. Last night you could see fire up on just to the north of Mount Jura, right across the valley, which you cannot see right now because it's too smoky. But go down here. The right across the mountain right over in there is Mount Jura. The fire was up in here in that area at the top of the ridge last night, and you could see a glow. You could see the Mount Jura silhouette, and that was all you could see. So it was fire was moving that direction. It's been moving toward Genesee Valley steadily. The wind today was, the last 2 days the winds have been out of the northeast, which is a bad direction for the fire moving toward Taylorsville, because it'll push the fire toward Taylorsville with the northeast wind. but it's not. Today it's switched around to the southwest. If there's much wind at all, it's kind of calm. I mean, it's not very windy at all today. It's really light breeze. Not sure what's going on the fire itself, but there is. I know there's a lot of talk on the radio. The spot fire that's over there above Janesville Grade that I don't think I talked about yet. There was a spot fire they thought was a separate lightning fire, and now they're calling it a spot again. So started over at top of Janesville Grade, burned all the way down into Janesville. Not the city proper, but down on the east side of Janesville Grade. Kind of missed the area where Judy used to live. Ran all the way down to the highway and slopped over the highway a couple places. Then it started moving down toward Milford. And so Al and Debbie Phipps that live out there in that area above Honey Lake Campground hasn't gotten to their place yet, and I don't think it's going to. The last briefing I saw was last night's briefing. They said that I haven't seen one this morning, come to think of it. Anyway, the last briefing I saw said that it was they had a really good dozer line, some hand line going all the way up to the escarpment, and so they're going to keep it. That should, unless the wind pushes it directly, that should be a flank where they should be able to hold it. I think. They haven't really held anything on this fire. Everything they've done has been a failure. Every place they go, it seems like they failed, except for right here. I mean, we're in a area that didn't get any fire in it, and as a matter of fact, there is some fire on top of that ridge right over there. You can't really see it from here, but right up in there, there's the very top of the ridge on the back side is where Forgay Road goes up, and it burned all the way along that, all the way down about over in there. And but you can't see any of that. It's not visible from here. So all of that is unburned that you're looking at. Now, if it was clear and you could see across the valley, there would be fire visible, or burned areas anyway, visible on the mountain over there. On the other side, there's mountains. And then Taylorsville, which is right down there, is being threatened by this fire that's up on the other side of Jura. But today the wind's not pushing it, and I'm thinking if it stays calm or turns around to the southwest, which is what it is supposed to do today, then it will keep a fire from going all the way into Taylorsville, or even Genesee. Now, they burned out the road, the Genesee Valley Road, the one that goes to Antelope Lake. They burned that down to the road, or they're working on burning that down to the road. In some places, they're letting it back down, and which is a stupid plan. They should go in there and either, if they're letting it back down because they're trying to keep it cold, that's a good idea. But the way this fire's been burning, it just burns. They let it do that, and then the next thing you know, the wind picks up and it makes a run. So it's questionable whether that's a good tactic or not. But the bad thing about the Genesee Road is it's spotted over onto Grizzly Ridge, and 30 to 40 acres is the last I heard about it. And they have said that they're working on putting a dozer line at the top of the ridge to catch it. Well, their indirect dozer lines have never held yet. And so it's beyond me how they can possibly think that that's going to do any good. The only thing that's going to work on that fire, on that spot fire, is to go in there and go direct. I mean, they just need to do that. They're not going to, apparently. So the fire just continues on spreading, and it's definitely narrowed down somewhat. It's not quite going in every direction, but that's just because the wind hasn't been blowing. And if the wind stays down, it's not pushing it. And if the wind picks up, it's going to push it again. So they need to be doing direct attack. And unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be in the cards. So today is the 20th of August. This fire's been burning since the 13th of July. So it's completely decimated almost every bit of forest all the way around us. Even though it's not all completely destroyed, it's still to the point where there's going to be some really ugly country out there. So pretty sad, actually. And I don't know, there just doesn't seem to be any end in sight. So okay, let's see, it's August 22nd, Sunday. I'm heading out to where the fifth wheel is, and say that you can get out there, so I'm going to go out and make sure then Karen and I can come out and pick it up and bring it home. So that's the plan. Okay, we're out Diamond Mountain Road. This is along the structures here. It didn't really burn. They kept it out of the structures. There's a few black spots down along the road, but nothing that's burned up really bad. It's kind of a underburn more than anything. So it doesn't look any different than it did before out here, right along this part of the road. Let's see what it looks like out there where Lights Creek Bridge is. Yeah, looks like it slopped over the road here a little bit, burned kind of hot. Here's the Buffalo Ranch. Some buffalo out there. Fifth wheel. Looks like it's in a safe spot still. Don't see any problems with it. Looks like it burned around it. Burned right over there. I don't see any issues here. Other than it being real dirty. Okay. I'm relieved. I didn't know what to expect here. The way it burned out here. It burned Mark and Lillian's house, and I just didn't know what to think. So I thought this was a good spot for it. Apparently was. All right. So here we are at on the other side of the Buffalo Ranch going back. The hillside burned off pretty good. One of the structures on the other side here burned. Fire across the road over here got into this field. Burned down some structures over here. There's something that was there. There used to be a house right out there. I guess it could have been worse. Most of what's burned along the road here is just like an underburn. Really just cleaned it all up and Like this is all burned in here, but it's all cleaned up. It's not burned bad. Trees are still intact. Took out some of the undergrowth, which is a good thing. That'll help clean it up for the future. So all in all, it doesn't look too bad along this road. I can't see very far because it's really smoky, but at least it's not devastated.